I, 39 male, married Lisa, 38 female, 4 years ago. She was divorced and had 2 kids with her ex. They split custody and didn't really co-parent because they were strained between them, but they could be civil around the kids. The kids in question are 11 and 9, and Lisa and I have a 3-year-old together. Problems started when Lisa's ex started giving me an attitude and being hostile when I was in his presence.
Oh, no.
He'd tell me not to speak to his kids and to know my place. Lisa would tell her ex to stop, and she warned him, she'd document all of that. But he carried on with these hostile remarks in front of the kids, and eventually the kids started treating me the same way. Lisa went back to court, and the judge ruled that she and her ex had to individually take some parenting classes, and that was it. Her ex carried on as he was, and the judge didn't do anything further. She was told it wasn't actually parental alienation. The kids have never minded Lisa saying they were our kids, or me saying stepkids. I followed their lead on what to call them, and I asked them if they would like me to drop the step, and they said no. But Lisa... No, thanks.
That's messed up.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
This whole conversation, the humor, laughing at this individual is reasons why men don't want to play that stepdad role, right? You looked at as a third class citizen, actually, and laughed at. Thankless job.
I could not hear that. I would never ask because I could not hear that back. No, you're fine, stepdad.
And it wasn't even like quickly no.
I told that man to chill.
Keep the step.
But Lisa started having issues with this, and the kids started to have issues with her saying our kids instead of my kids, and the kids kicked up a fuss about it. The original conversations with me and them happened before the trouble with their dad started. The fuss started after his comments. The kids started telling me to stop saying stepkids, and they weren't my stepkids. Lisa wasn't happy about me saying stepkids either, but the kids didn't want me claiming them as anything, and my wife wanted me to claim them as my kids. She started encouraging more of a relationship between us, but the kids constantly disrespected me. She wanted me to take them more places, wanted me to be involved in more of their extracurricular activities. I was already involved to some degree, but she was the mom. Her ex was the dad, and I was the stepdad, and not equal to the bio parents. But she said I signed up to be their dad, and that was what I needed to be. I tried to be there more. She said the kids would come around when they saw me being there for them. Their dad was more hostile to me. He was hostile to the child I share with Lisa. The kids started rejecting their half-sibling. They had never been super fond, but at least they would be kind around the youngest. But that did end, and they were angry about our child's presence. They repeated some of the things their dad did. Lisa went back to court over it, and the judge still did nothing more. I suggested the kids get therapy, and Lisa decided we needed family therapy. But the kids wouldn't talk or listen, and the therapist suggested individual, which Lisa ignored. I went on my own, and I got some good things out of it, and I attempted on numerous occasions to communicate the problems I was having to Lisa so we could work through them.
Wow. So he's going to get therapy for his, what looks like is about to be a failed marriage by himself.
The more time that passes, the more time Lisa gets angry that I won't step up and be their dad. But the more I try to be involved, the angrier her kids get, and the more disrespect I get. And even if I try to correct it, they get more angry and they show more disrespect. The final straw for me happened last week. I had picked up the oldest from practice, and in the car, they got mad at me for trying to ask how things went. It started with, "You're not my dad," but went to saying they would accuse me of abusing them because then I'd be punished and I would never see them again. And it would make them and their sibling happy because they hate me like their dad hates me. I told Lisa about this, and she told me I need to remain strong and carry on.
All right, they got me with that one. Lisa is a sadistic woman who loves to see a man suffer. What do you mean? Remain strong and carry on.
Oh, what? Because they all need me. I asked her if she was serious, and she said yes. I told her that's a serious threat her child made. She corrected me and said, "Our child." I told her...
Oh my gosh.
That would literally send
Read the room, Lisa.
I told her if I said that, I would likely get physically attacked by one or both of her kids, given their anger about it. And I told her they themselves have repeatedly said they are not my kids and I am not their dad. She told me I signed up for it by marrying her. I told her things changed, and she said it didn't. I asked her if the kid or even both kids followed through on that promise. I would have to leave the home, and I couldn't see our child until I was cleared. Would she still expect me to keep showing up no matter what? And she told me yes. And that even if her kids attacked me or even if they said more horrible things, it's my job to keep showing up and to be there. This made me leave. I told her before I left that I wanted a divorce and I would not stick around for that.
There you go.
She argued that I'm giving up, and in the end, we'd win because we're the good guys if we keep being there. I told her, how could she be so sure? I told her it doesn't always work, and she told me it's because the steps are usually not as good as me, but I was always amazing to her kids, and I just needed to work harder. I've seen our child almost every day since I moved out. The house was Lisa's before our marriage, and I'm determined to follow through with the divorce. Lisa keeps telling me I need to reconsider and I need to man up, and her father even confronted me about it. Actually, while he was confronting me, we could hear Lisa and the kids fighting over her calling me their dad. But he repeated what she did, that I signed up to be their dad and I should fight harder.
What? And I want you to really think, why would any man choose to be a stepdad in light of better options? And that doesn't mean they aren't men who find a reason or a peaceful situation, but it's far and few between. It's the type of men who go through this situation where they tried their best, and after they get out of this, they just say, hey, tried that, been there, done that. And I don't blame any man who says, hey, I don't do the single mothers thing, especially when they've had a taste of this type of dynamic. Why would you be okay with this level of disrespect coming from your children? And the fact that there's just a whole lot wrong with this, right? The threats for him to be labeled as an abuser of any sorts is crazy. The fact that she refused to go and actually get therapy with him is even worse. She did not respect this man, obviously so. Let's read a few of these comments. Top comment here says, when someone demands family therapy but won't let their kids do individual therapy, that's a huge red flag. She wants to completely control the narrative. Here's another person who says, not the a-hole. He put in a ton of effort and got pushed back every time. Biological dad is an a-hole for parental alienation. And Lisa is an a-hole for doing nothing about it and putting it on him to fix it. Yeah, she could have reported that. Part of parental alienation is just like trying to bad talk about another parent to your current kids. Another person who says, yep, divorce. The threat of abuse is the end. The threat of abuse is insane. Somebody else who says, F them kids, they're walking everywhere. Another person who says, sad for the youngest. They're going to torment that child. Another person who says, true. I would sue her for full custody. Another person here added, that whole story is sad. The ex-husband is jealous and creating problems with the children, not fair to the kids or current husband. Here's somebody else who says the whole thing is a hot mess. He is smart to run. Run fast, not slow. Of course, guys, curious to know what you guys think about this whole situation. What would you do? You know, this is the part where the internet does come through for men who are on the fence. For men who are sitting here wondering, is this worth it or not? You have to know yourself. The amount of patience this man just exemplified is almost borderline a lack of self-respect. Do not put yourself in the type of situation where you've already noticed that a woman is highly selfish. She had to have shown signs that she was a selfish woman before all this. To my soon-to-be married men or currently engaged men, don't forget to head over to fathershaverights.com if you want to know the first step to take. We equip men with knowing how to approach getting a prenuptial agreement before they hire an attorney. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.